All right, we're go.
Good to go. I'm going to start a new track. Mute that one. Okay, we're good. In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 132, recorded on June 7th, 2017, 1 week away from Nintendo's E3 presentation. On tonight's episode, Nintendo opens up about its online service, Pokemon has some news directed towards you, and lots more, including your E3 predictions. Now, Zach, cue that sweet music.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Dads Podcast. My name is Zach Erickson, and tonight is June 7th, 2017. We are a mere 6 days away. Well, 5.5, right? Something like that. Something from the Nintendo event itself. But anyways, joining me tonight for tonight's festivities is Justin Masson. What's going on tonight, Justin?
Nothing much, buddy. How about you? Yeah, we are less than a week, man, and I am getting like E3 fever. I'm scratching. I'm excited, man. I am pumped to be here for today's whatever we're doing. I don't know what we're doing anymore. Speaking of not ever really knowing what there's doing, Jesse Waldeck, VG Tribune. How are you, sir?
Does that include how to raise a half a finger?
I will half a finger you, sir.
Wow. Yes. Agreed. I don't know what that means.
You're gonna have to watch. People listening on the audio version will have to watch the YouTube to know what I'm talking about.
I'm using my amazing ability to do sign language this entire episode today.
Is that what you call it?
I don't know. What would a? I guess it would have to be a video show. Never mind. I'm not gonna ask. Joining us as well from the land of the South. Marty Estes. What's going on, Marty?
Souse is actually right. We have something here called Souse meats. You don't want to know what that is.
I don't know.
It's kind of like everything that you don't cook, like for normal food, made into things you eat.
So like a hot dog?
Yeah, it's kind of like a hot dog. My father-in-law told me one time that when he and his family used to butcher pigs, they ate everything but the squeal.
Oh my gosh, dude!
And so, welcome to the South, guys.
That's amazing. Right on. Well, everybody, thank you for being here. It's a good time. We got a lot to talk about with E3 right around the corner, and so we got to get straight into the news. And the news is brought to us by
OneUpBox.com. Hey, Justin.
Hey, Marty.
You like geeky stuff?
Of course I do. Who doesn't?
Do you like getting like a little green box full of geeky stuff in your mailbox each month?
I do love that. We don't have a mailbox here. We have a mail chute. It would not fit there because it is a large box and a small chute, but I would love that.
What is the what is a mail chute?
It's like a thin, like envelopes could go in.
Oh,
maybe
see, I was kind of thinking of like a tube.
No, that would be interesting though.
A mail chute. But anyway, if it can't fit down in the mail chute, then maybe they could deliver a 1UP box to your door. If you went to oneupbox.com and typed in the code Nintendo Dads and got $3 off your first box.
I'm going there right now.
You should. Sounds like a great idea. Everyone should do it. So head over to oneupbox.com, use the code Nintendo Dads, save some money, have some geeky stuff.
I love geeky stuff and saving money.
Awesome. Wonderful. So I don't know what
that makes two of us.
Yeah. So right on. So we've actually had a lot of news this week. I was listening to another show. I think it was Radio Free Nintendo that James Jones mentioned that it seems like Nintendo is sort of it's almost like they're clearing out all the stuff that they don't want to talk about at E3 or things that they've already said so that then they can talk about important things at E3. We've had a lot.
And just as a reference point, Nintendo has done this in the past. 2 years ago, they distinctly did a direct, actually, like days before E3. Last year, they did something along this as well. This is actually not uncommon. This is kind of the to your point, Zach, clearing out the news that they don't want to be cluttered with everything else. They really want to focus on the games at E3 and not the, as we're going to mention here, the services, the accessories. So yeah, it's been really interesting as we've been running up to this.
Yeah, for sure. So we're not necessarily going to go in order of things that were announced, like the order that they were announced. But the first thing that we're going to talk about this week is what's the exact name for this? Nintendo Online Service? Is that? I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they call it.
It's a very creative name.
Deluxe XL Edition.
Yeah. So it's
Galaxy.
the Nintendo Switch. It's pulling up here slowly. Keep throwing them though. I like this.
It is called. Wait, hang on.
DSi.
Oh my gosh! Actually called Nintendo Switch Online. All right. Wow.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Nintendo Switch.
Descriptive branding. Like they also.
You know what it is by the title.
So, I was about to say. What do you think it does, guys?
I don't know. I think it's for your 3DS.
The thing is right now I don't think
you
they
put your
know
Pokemon,
what it does.
right?
It turns off your internet.
Yeah. So basically, here's the deal: is they initially said that this was coming in fall 2017. They are now pushing this to 2018, and it is free until 2018, with some limited stuff coming this summer. They are saying a free limited version of the app will be available for download in summer 2017. My guess is that's coming alongside Splatoon.
July 22nd would probably be when that date is. If I was to put an actual pin on that date, I would say
it's 21st, but yeah,
July 21st, whatever Splatoon 2's date is the day that will be available. I will almost guarantee it.
I bet you it will be, because the App Store usually puts all the new games and apps on the Thursday. So I bet you it will come Thursday, which is the 20th. So everybody will download that app the day before Splatoon comes out.
Log in.
Or maybe a week before.
And crash it.
If they're smart, they'll do it the week before, right? They'll do it on the 14th or the 13th or something like that. So everybody can download it. Everybody can play with the app or whatever, and then we'll be able to do that. Really put it through its paces on the 21st when Splatoon comes out. So that's basically, and then the other big thing is, so that's only going to be it's a free app. Which I think it was always going to be free, right? Like nobody thought we were going to have to pay for the app.
Yeah, no, the app's always been free.
Stuff. But it's a limited version of the app. So everybody, let's just check our expectations right now. We are not going to be getting, like, when you download it and think, wow, what is this crap? There's like nothing here. It's a limited version of what they're eventually going to have. So everybody just relax about that right now. Because I don't want to hear your nonsense.
You don't want to have you put out.
Zach has done nothing but deal with internet folk for the last week and a bit.
I've had enough nonsense on the internet this week.
Yeah.
So
don't make Zach put out another video.
Yeah. By the way,
he put one out a few hours ago.
I published a video just as we were starting the show, pre E3 therapy. This is free therapy from somebody who just graduated with the master's in counseling psychology. Free therapy going into E3. There you go. You're welcome.
I like how you subtly slip that in there, by the way.
Yeah. Let's just take a quick pause.
From somebody
let's just applaud for Zach. Well done, sir. Big moment. Congratulations. We're very excited for you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
It's just a video from somebody who just graduated with a master's in psychology. Blah 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 blah.
This opinion's from a guy who just ate a bowl of Weetabix for breakfast. Yum 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 yum.
I hear that's good for you. So basically, all that to say, this is something that is going to be, it's a work in progress, and the fact that this is a free and limited version of this, I'm confused by this because it makes it seem like there is much more that they haven't announced yet, right? Like this is a much more, unless the problem is, oh crap, we didn't get Bob to order the servers in time, and it's not going to be here for another 6 months.
Bill Trennan was eating donuts instead of ordering servers.
Yeah, seriously, right? Like, I don't know what else is going on here, like why this is taking so long or what else they're working.
Crap, Bob.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
I'm gonna wager a guess at what's taking so long.
Is it?
And that's these games.
Yeah, that's maybe true.
And they promised that it would launch with games, or a rotation of games, and now they feel obligated to do it.
So
well, let's talk about Zach. Yeah, let's talk about that because that's changed, right, Zach? It's no longer a monthly. It's something. It's almost Netflixian.
Yeah, I think this is
Is that a
like
word?
this is actually something that I don't. They're not getting enough credit for this, right? This classic game selection, which product name is subject to change. So okay, whatever, right? Because as if the Nintendo Switch Online was like, oh no, we can get behind that name. Don't worry, guys. Nintendo Switch Online. Jerry already made a logo for that one, so we have to deal with that one. But
please tell me it's NESflix.
Oh,
yes,
no.
That's what I want.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh, Showtime.
Do we know anyone in marketing that can do me a quick drawing of what NESflix might look like for the banner?
Yeah, NESflix it is. That is our show title, I think. So absolutely. So, but really, that's what it is, right? Like it's.
Sounds like it.
Here's the thing that we don't know. As far as managing, this seems like my new mantra. My message that I've been called to share on the internet is managing your expectations. But let's manage our expectations and say we don't know how many games are actually going to be available, right? The website has a picture of 3 games.
3.
Right? So Super Mario Brothers 3, Balloon Fight, Dr. Mario. All 3 of these games are games that we know are going to be updated with online play. And so that's the thing, is that it's not just an NES Virtual Console Netflix sort of thing. These games, they're going to be taking time to update these games with online play, which means, honestly, more or less, like I feel like it's a weird sort of hybrid between a remake and also like an eShop title with like a port. You know what I mean? Like Super Mario 3, for example. My guess is it's going to have leaderboards, or it's going to have something like that. It's not going to have. It's not going to be way, like multiple people, like a new Super Mario Brothers sort of 4-player craziness. I really doubt they're going to do that. It's going to be a little more simple than that.
It's just going to be time trials.
Yeah, exactly.
Speed runs.
Yeah. So that's but again, I think that they should be given credit here where they listened, right? Like we were like, no, guys, the last thing we want is to lose access to these games and to only have one at a time. It's like, instead what they're doing is they're just going to open up to everybody, and they're going to say, no, here's all of the games that you can have, and while Justin gives us a tour of his house, right? It's exactly.
I'm making a cup of tea. It's 4 a.m. What the hell do you want from me?
No, it's
busting my balls.
No. By the way, I can see the clock. It's like 5 a.m. now, dude. Come on.
Okay, whatever.
How long are you going to harp on that one for?
Long enough.
So yeah, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on this overall? It seems like, I don't know. It seems like they're saying, you know what? It's not quite cooked yet. We received some feedback. We're going to take a little extra time. I think you're right, Marty. I think that this online stuff, they're taking enough time now to get a decent enough library for when it launches. I guess before we do that, I guess before we go around the horn, final thing here is pricing. This is in US dollars, but a 1-month membership, if you want to don't do the 1-month membership. Don't pay for it a month at a time. It's $4. $4 a month if you pay for it a month at a time. 3 months at a time is $8, and if you just pay for the whole year up front, it's $20. So
yeah, I think with that alone, understanding that this entire yearly service is $20, right? Yeah. Money for I don't want to say quality, or money for experiential would break us down to about $1.50, right, or $1.75 a month. So let's not like over the moon thinks a billion things in one, right? But mm-hmm. I do think it's priced reasonable. I think it's easy to access. Nintendo has never been. This is Nintendo's first attempt at financially, or charging someone for an online service. So I think a low price point as well. And I think when it's something, if we use the NESflix kind of logo or mantra to go with it, that's a really easy entry point. And to say like, hey, by the way, you have this classic library at any point you can download or have access to on the go. I think that's pretty massive.
Yeah. Not to
so
mention
I think the pricing's fine.
Yeah, I think the only other thing I don't know if this was on here before, but they are saying you're going to get eShop deals if you have the online service. I don't know if that's something if it's anything like this just for you like birthday thing, my birthday's in June. And so I got the email at the beginning of the month saying, "Hey, we're going to give you a discount on a game." And I'm like, I either own these games or I don't want them. Like the only one that I'm considering is like Paper Jam, but I don't want to buy Paper Jam.
Did you ever feel
Don't
like
ever buy Paper Jam.
did you ever feel like you went to, I guess, I don't know, it would be in the U.S., maybe Chuck E. Cheese or Rocky and Bullwinkle's, and you walk in and they're like, "Hey, I hear it's your birthday." I kind of feel like that's what the coupon discount is from Nintendo. Like, "I hear it's your birthday. Hey, birthday buddy, here's a discount. Hey." And you're like, "Just leave me alone, talking clown or talking cat or whatever the hell you are."
But like, not only that, but it's like a present that clearly is like mass produced and not very good quality, or like, what the crap, I already had this thing. Like,
generic birthday sticker.
Yeah, exactly. "You're such a pretty boy or girl," right? Like,
yeah. Check one. Yeah, exactly. So it does kind of feel like that. I understand that like it's not necessarily, it's not designed for. The problem with that system is that the people that it serves the least are their most diehard consumers. Right?
correct.
So the more brand loyal you are, the more hardcore you are, the less this actually is beneficial.
Well, like, even look at June's updates to the Nintendo rewards, right? Like, when are we all going to be getting Switch reward stuff? By the way,
I want something funny about the rewards. Wow, Dustin, I can literally hear every single thing that you do in that kitchen.
really?
Everybody at home.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Get myself a little cup of tea.
Yeah.
A little bit of Barry's Tea. A little bit of product placement. This episode is sponsored to us by Barry's Tea. When you're at 5 a.m. in the morning looking for a cup of tea, go to Barry's. Original blend.
So you've totally just derailed me. I'm moving on. Nintendo Switch Online, everybody. Marty, what are you thinking about this?
Price is right. It's definitely right. It's more than right. I've heard so many people say that over the last couple of days about how, it really, it doesn't really. I think the overarching thing that most people are saying is that it really doesn't matter what we get. It's only going to be $20 a year. So, but on the same hand, part of what I've heard is it's only going to be $20 a year. So what do you expect?
Yeah, there you go.
And so, but here's what I do know is that Nintendo, whenever it delivers a product, for the most part, is committed to quality. And I think that they know that they have an obligation to get this right. And I think that's why they're continuing to push it back, because they do want it to be something that people are going to enjoy and use when it comes out. So now the game library, NESflix or whatever, I'm going to use the crap out of that. I can't wait for that. And the decision to make it a downloadable, kind of on-demand service is the best decision they could have made. My first thought, and it's still my prevailing thought on this, is why did they not wait till E3 for this news?
And I think going back to that, Marty, I think because E3 is where they want to promote the games that they know you are going to be playing and are coming, not a service that, like, I think when you talk about like a splash reel of like details, I mean, this may actually still get a little bit of a touch. Right, Nintendo is common to like let us introduce an idea and then let's touch on it again. So this may be we may hear it touched again at E3, but I think it's to get the nitty gritty off the docket and let the bigger things have its go. Right.
You know what I think it will probably look like is we will have some sort of a segment of their digital event will involve Splatoon 2. And they will show off the app at that point, and they will show the voice chat. They'll show all of that as part of Splatoon 2, and that's all we'll really see for right now. Yeah. And they'll say, it's going to be free and through all of 2017. And
my question to you is this: the idea is, or what I've heard, is that Nintendo may be only going to do a 30-minute presentation during E3.
Their press release said as much. Yes.
Said 30 minutes. Okay, so the problem with that is could they have not just taken all this news that's leaked out over the past week and made another 30 minutes of it?
Yeah, but the 30 minutes will, you basically have an hour. And so I wonder if they're just trusting or if they would rather give that little bit of extra time to the Treehouse people while people are still watching. Like, maybe, okay, that was short. Maybe I'll get a little bit of extra, give a little bit more time to the Treehouse instead.
Yeah, because Treehouse really, takes those 3 days and rolls out or those the more detail, right? And a lot of information actually leaks out in the Treehouse that's not in the Direct that probably should have been. So, although the Treehouse will be 30, the Direct will be 30, the Treehouse is, I think, really where our meat and potatoes is going to be, where we're going to get the details of what's actually going on and get some extra information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Speaking of Splatoon 2, what else happened in Splatoon 2 this week?
Splatoon 2, yeah, we're kind of jumping around here. Is this also what? Okay, Splatoon 2. Okay, Marty, this email is not. There is no Splatoon 2 in this, right? We're going to come to that next.
No.
Okay, we're going to come back to the email then. Splatoon 2. We kind of talked about this in the Patreon hangout that we just had, but I think it's worth repeating as well. So this voice chat, right? You guys are excited for voice chat, right? For Nintendo on voice chat?
I am excited for voice chat. I'm excited to be playing Mario Kart or Splatoon with you four gentlemen, three gentlemen. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and so basically what was released, and I think this is an important caveat here, is Hori, who is a third-party hardware manufacturer that is officially licensed by Nintendo, released or announced their Splatoon 2 headset, which comes with the ability to listen to audio from both the voice chat and the in-game audio, which is something that you are going to want, especially if you're on the go. If you're on the TV, then it's maybe that's not as important to you, and you just kind of have your headset in, but you're listening to audio from the TV. But if you're listening, especially in handheld mode, you're going to want to be able to use the headset or to have the audio for both. A lot of people really appreciate that. So I am sure everybody's already seen the pictures by now. The headset's pretty cool looking. There's actually an in-game version of the headset, and so it's exactly like a replica of what's in the game, which is really neat. And then it also comes with this dongle that basically combines audio from both the voice chat app and the Switch that pipes both of those through into the headset, right? So it's basically an inverted Y cable. Would that be like the best way to sort of?
Yeah, I've been describing it as an inverse Y cable. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So instead of being like a headphone splitter that goes from one source into two headsets, it's two audio sources into a single headset, which is cool. I think I saw so many people that freaked out about this and were upset about this and, oh man, this is so clunky, whatever. This is designed to solve a problem that there is no graceful solution to, right? And I was thinking about this. You have the Switch, and feel free to challenge me on this if you want, but let me just set up this scenario. You have a system that is both a handheld and a home console that is both and so you can't have the audio through the console, but you could maybe put it in the controllers, right? That's what most people do. But if you put it in the controllers, well, the controllers are also sort of multimodal, and like you could put it in. What are you going to do? Plug it into one of the Joy-Cons? But then what if you're playing ARMS and you want to have voice chat? Then you have the cord plugged into the Joy-Con while punching with it, right? There's no graceful solution to have it entirely through the console, which is why they've opted for this smartphone app, right? And so now, in order to say, okay, well, what if I want my audio? That's what this third-party solution, which it is a third-party solution, it is officially licensed by Nintendo, right? It's sort of that middle ground there, but there was never going to be a grateful, clean solution to this outside of Bluetooth, which is very expensive. and Nintendo doesn't want things to be expensive. So I don't know. What are you? So I'm okay with it. I think as a somebody who is interested in sort of audio, audio production and stuff like that, I looked at this dongle and my immediate thing was like, holy crap, that thing, I'm going to use this in, I could probably use that in my audio setup right now. And it would probably replace a much clunkier setup that I currently run. So, cause I mean, you guys never see this, but connect to this computer and off to my side is this a flurry of cables and things in order to get my phone and my computer and everything and my microphone to all work together. It's actually a really graceful solution to the issue. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? Like, Marty, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Like, did you look at it and think, what the crap?
No. I mean, actually, the first thing I thought when I saw it was, oh no, Nintendo. Mainly because just I knew what people were going to say. You know, I knew the criticism that was going to come out about it. And like right now, I almost feel like as much as the Switch is succeeding in things, people are still looking for things to knock Nintendo about.
Yeah.
And so you've got this, and it comes out, and you know, there's always been this like specter looming over the Switch about the online service and about what would the voice chat would be, you know, whether it would really be on the phone or whether that was just a misstatement or whatever. You know, now we know it's really on the phone, and we know that it's definitely going to come this way, and you're going to have this big dongle and all that. To be honest with you, I'm probably not going to buy that. Mainly because I'm probably just going to use the headset I've got on right now, or actually the headset that I use for PS4 gaming is just a single mic and a headset. That's what I use when I play Overwatch. That's probably what I'm going to use on the Switch too. Mm-hmm. So I'm not in the market for another headset, but I'm like you. Like I felt like once people started talking about what the device did, I was like, so what's the issue?
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get to hear both audio sources and you're not going to miss out, you know. So like they're actually, not only are they producing a neat way to do that, they're also doing it in a neat way to tie into the game with a headset that's shown in the game that, you know, is branded for Splatoon.
Yeah.
This is going to be a huge hit for Nintendo. But I guess my first thought was, you know, why are you doing this when you know the reactions it's going to cause? And then just the reaction that I saw online initially was, we're just going to keep using Discord.
Yeah. But again, you could use this setup with Discord, right?
You could.
And here's the thing is too, that I think maybe this is even controversial, but I would rather just buy the dongle. Honestly. I would rather buy just the dongle. I don't care about having a new headset because I don't need a headset. You're right. I have all sorts of... Oh my gosh, my printer just started. What's going on? Can you guys hear that?
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that's really distracting. I would rather have just the dongle. I don't need a new headset, but that dongle is basically, it's just one more thing. Yes, it is just another thing that you have to carry with you, but compared to how many other cords and things that you normally would have to do or use in order to pipe that through, it's an elegant solution, and I think that it's pretty decent. So,
was a price mentioned?
No,
I didn't see one.
No, I didn't. So that's I don't know. What do you think, Justin? How are you feeling about this?
Yeah, you know, I think kind of like Marty. I think at first I was like, that's a kind of clunky and sort of ugly, and then I kind of reverse engineered the problem in my head, and I was like, I don't think there is a graceful solution to that, kind of like you said there, Zach. So what I would say to this is although, you know, like Nintendo was the one who's kind of put us in this predicament of how to use this functional application or the setup, but Hori is the one who actually kind of made it look cool, right? Yeah. So kudos to their design team and their marketing team for actually, you know, like, let's have the splitter actually look, I think it's in the shape of like one of the Splatoon arrow kind of squids and some artwork on it and really have a good go at it. So I thought that was quite good of them, actually. As I said in the line chat, it's kind of like, it's an ugly pig with a nice layer of lipstick on top of it. But I am kind of like you, Zach. I'd rather if I could just pick up just the splitter, that'd be fine. Because I've got enough things I can just cut into it or drop into it. So just so I'm understanding, do you guys? So we are not suspecting in any capacity that there is going to be a functionality on the actual machine for us to be able to do any voice chat. Is that correct? And what I mean by that is, can I not drop in my earbuds, right? Like with the inline chat and the earphones to be able to hear the audio coming in and speak at the same time?
My guess is no, mainly because every other system can, because there's a built-in microphone somewhere, so the system has the drivers to know how to handle a mic. The PS4 controller has a mic, I think. The Wii U gamepad has a mic, but there is no mics at all on the Switch. 3DS and DS had mics.
But if you're dropping in a headset with an inline mic, like I know there's no external mic, but could that not just be a firmware update?
Well, it depends what kind of headphone jack is built into the Switch too. Like, does the headphone, the 3-channel, is it a 3-channel headphone jack that accepts an input, or is it a 2-channel headphone jack that only does stereo out?
And knowing Nintendo to save money, it's probably the latter.
Which would be really sad because there's no, in the year 2017 to release your next gaming hardware, there's no real reason to cheap out like that. It's not like they're saving a ton of money, but I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that. If somebody knows what the answer is, like if we know if it has the ability to get audio in, that seems like a weird door to close for yourself.
Yeah, I kind of feel like as this shakes out, this is the product that Hori has delivered for it, but we haven't heard what Nintendo really has. Maybe this is like, hey, if you want the ultimate in Splatoon experience, buy the Hori headset that has as modeled by the kid, the Inkling folk stuff, right? Like until we hear what Nintendo is saying about it, I would wonder if maybe there is just their solution. Say, by the way, we've updated the firmware. Peace out, y'all.
Yeah.
If the port does allow the 3-way, then a firmware update can be done to do it. But if the hardware is only for stereo and no mic, then no firmware will fix it. And I can understand why they didn't do the controller like everyone else has been doing the last 10 years, because Joy-Con and playing ARMS.
Maybe that becomes a premium experience, and that's put in in the Pro controller.
It does seem like something that the Pro controller, it would make more sense that way for sure. I don't know if that's actually if I don't know for sure how they would do that, or if they would do that. I'd say
that could be possible if they wanted to. Just like again, PS4, 360, or not 3. Yeah, I think 360 did it. Xbox One, they all do it through the controllers now.
Yeah. So which one of us is getting the Hori headset, by the way? The show to unbox and to give a go.
I can't bring myself to. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Depends on the price. I might get it. Not necessarily for online, since y'all know how much I like online gaming. But my kid said he would use it. He was on a few weeks ago, the Shiny Hunter. So he'll play 3 or 4 3DSs at the same time, grinding, trying to get shinies to spawn, and he would use this to listen to multiple 3DSs in one headset.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
Right.
In fact, he would probably want 2 or 3 of them just to chain them together to listen to multiple, up to 4. With 3 systems, you can chain 4 of them together.
Yeah.
So Zach, can you not go and buy that reversed Y splitter by itself anywhere? Like, could you not find some on Amazon or something?
That is a really good question. I don't know.
Probably could, but that style of splitter isn't common. The normal Y splitter of splitting one audio source into 2 headsets is more common.
Yeah, because basically what it's doing is it's basically a tiny mixer is what it is. And it even, if you look at it, it even has a little switch on it to turn off the microphone, which is pretty slick. So basically, it's taking the audio from both of them and putting it into the headset, but it also allows you to control whether or not that microphone is sending that signal back into the phone, that's actually really cool. Like that's a good trick to.
It's always good to have an extra multiple ways to mute yourself.
Yeah,
especially
like looking on
when you lose.
Yeah, reverse Y audio splitter. Yeah, see, like I really have no like. It's probably called something else online, but just as I do like a reverse audio splitter or something on Amazon. That's not what my guess is. That's not what it's called. But yeah, so that's a thing. Just a few things from the chat here. Adam saying it would be nice if the app could pick up game audio as well. Roku has private listening on their mobile apps. I feel like it's possible. That seems pretty high tech for Nintendo. Well, no mic on the DualShock 4. Sony packaged an earbud with an inline mic for PS4. So
that's an example of, while the mic controller itself didn't have a mic, but the port is the allows for the 3 signals.
Right, which wouldn't work. The thing that wouldn't work with the Joy-Cons though, because if you're doing a motion control game like ARMS, then you're just going to pull those earbuds right out of your ear. The first time, right? That doesn't work.
I'm really excited for Nintendo to release the Nintendo Fanny Pack that allows you to nicely holster both the phone on your hip as well as the,
I don't think you're allowed to say the word fanny in Europe, over in your part of the world anymore.
Probably not. I should probably. I may get deported because of it.
Yeah, I think that means something else over there. Okay.
You got your show notes there. You got your show notes, yeah?
So
you might.
Adam replies saying, "To be fair, I said possible, not likely."
Yeah. So that's that. I know. It's kind of cool. Other thing here, we can talk about ARMS reviews coming in. But the one thing we do want to definitely talk about is the Pokemon Direct that happened yesterday, right?
It was yesterday.
And let me tell you, I have not seen salt on the internet like I have with the like I did yesterday. That was a good time. I remember, again, my motto of high hopes, low expectations. That I reminded people on Twitter about that going into it, and I'm glad that I reminded myself of it going into it, because people were ready for Pokemon Stars, man. People were ready for the Pokemon Sun and Moon port to the Switch, and that is not what people got.
And you know what you got? Nothing. You get nothing.
That's not true, though. That's not true, right? Like I think that people.
Well, you're right. That's not true,
right?
So you get something. It may just not be what you wanted.
Yeah, and again, I
always get what you want.
Here's something to keep in mind to put all of this into context. Let's have a little history lesson for Nintendo fans. I don't know. I'm not going to know dates, so maybe it's not a good history lesson. But when everybody was excited after Pokemon Black and White came out, there was a lot of hype because Nintendo had this new system out called the Nintendo 3DS, and everybody was really excited to play a Pokemon game on their 3DS. And that year, within the first, about
2011 when 3DS launched.
Yeah. So, and then was it holiday 2012? Right. So 3DS launched in 2011. Holiday 2012. The Pokemon Company and Nintendo released Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. So this was over a year after the 3DS had released.
I love how they didn't even bother to give those like any special modifiers or like try to change the colors, names up. Yep. It's just 2.
It was summer 2012. It was right after E3.
Okay, so yeah, so it wasn't it was still over a year after the 3DS came out. So now fast forward to this year when the Switch has an install base of a few million, right? Has an install base of a few million people. It's great for where it is, but what is the 3DS install base? Like something crazy, 60, 70 million. I don't know, something. I don't know how many copies. I'm not going to look up the numbers for how many copies.
The 60 millions is a good estimate.
Yeah, like the Sun and Moon released, and it was just ridiculous sales. It was crazy, and so when looking at, okay, are we going to release this year? Are we going to release a game on the Switch or on the 3DS? The Pokemon Company is not Nintendo. They are not entirely based in Nintendo. And let me tell you, most of the people who they are aiming this next Pokemon game at, those people are, guess what? They own a 3DS because they bought one for Sun and Moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for them to release it on Switch would not be a smart idea. There's not an install base for that. Nintendo, I'm sure, would love it, right? Like, it definitely would drive systems. But can you imagine? Let's just do a hypothetical situation where a brand new Pokemon game is out on Nintendo Switch this holiday season. Just hypothetically. Can you imagine the outrage when parents can't find a Switch on store shelves, when they can't, like there's nothing that, like, it's already going to be hard to find this year. And can you imagine what would the bad press and the outrage when nobody can find a Switch this holiday and everybody wants to play the new Pokemon game? It would be crazy. So I don't know. So what we did get is Pokken Tournament DX coming out this September. The Gold and Silver 3DS Virtual Console games, Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Silver, coming to the 3DS also on the same day.
September 22nd, I think.
September 22nd. And the Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon coming to the 3DS this November. So,
or you may also refer to it as Pokemon Ultra Salty.
Ultra Salt, yeah, which is amazing. Somebody made that logo, and it was about the best thing I saw all day yesterday. So, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on this direct? Are you like, am I being too callous here? I know Dave was like, I know you like Pokemon, but you can't defend this crap. And I was like, no, I think it's actually a really good business decision. But
I think that's the thing, Zach. I think if you take the step back, I think you actually did a very good job explaining the business rationale behind the decision. And here's the thing for everyone who's like, but I want my Pokemon on the Switch. It's coming. It will eventually be there. Like 3 or 4 years from now, they're going to have a Pokemon for the Switch. So cool your jets, all right? Yeah. I do think that Nintendo has continued to state over the last several months, despite the loud roar of the intranet, that they will continue to support the 3DS and that the 3DS is still a very important and viable option in their business model. And I think we saw that once again resoundingly here. I think it's right for the Pokemon Company. To your comment, Zach, if there is, let's just say that there are 60,000 3DSs in the wild, okay? And we already have an attachment rate of, let's say, 60 million. Let's say 10 million of those bought the Pokemon Sun and Moon last time, right? You've got another 50 million potential, right? And now you roll out the Ultra Edition. Let's say they sell, 75% more of that. So they sell 7.5 million. By December of this year, there won't even be 7.5 million Switches out in the wild, let alone to be able to support those numbers from a sales perspective.
By the way, the total global numbers for Pokemon Sun and Moon combined is 13.7 million copies.
I looked the same thing up. I'm looking at the same page.
So there is no way, right? There is no way it's going to happen. Can you imagine?
So for all of us to want our new IPs and these great games and release schedules for Odyssey, bills got to be paid, y'all. So they got to be selling some 3DSs and some games. I don't think this is a bad decision. So Internet needs to zip it. So I think there's that. It looks like for the Pokken tournament, there are some additional characters. I think coming in. I think Roger talked about that in his reaction video.
Yeah, there are five new fighters.
Yeah, and they're integrating the Pokemon Bank with X and Y, right? So you know what
I mean,
yeah. Sorry, gold and silver, whatever it is. So I mean, I think overall, I mean, I'm not a big Pokemon fan, but I mean, I thought it was fine, right? But I also wasn't expecting stars. And if you are, and if someone's like, "Oh, they're going to release at E3," no, they're not. Shut up. Give your head a shake.
That was a mistake, by the way. There was a immediately after the Direct. It was really funny because the Pokemon press site actually had Nintendo 3DS and then the date, and then Nintendo Switch TBA, and everybody freaked out and was like, "Oh my gosh, this is coming to the Switch too!" And then immediately the Pokemon company released a press like a clarifier saying, I think somebody emailed them, and they just said, "This was a clerical error. It is coming exclusively to 3DS. Refer to the Nintendo Direct for more details." But like, if anybody has the impression, like, it was a really unfortunate mistake on somebody lost their job.
Damn it, Bob!
Or had a bad finger waving, or a stern look.
Maybe it was just a half a finger.
Maybe, but that's so that was basically where they said no, that's not happening. So I don't know. I'm interested in this. Honestly, Pokemon Sun and Moon is more fun than I've had in a Pokemon game for a long time, and I'm looking forward to it again. The more do I love my Switch? Yes. Are there more people in the world that have a 3DS than a Switch? Absolutely. And I am still excited. Like, every time I sit down with my 3DS, I'm like, oh, you know what? This still feels great. And if it's not for you, speak with your dollars and don't.
I was actually having that thought recently. There's 2 games that are coming out that I have not played before that I want to get my hands on. And they are both available for the 3DS and the Switch. And I had this long pondering thought of like, which one do I purchase it on? And I'm leaning more and more towards my 3DS than I am my Switch. So I think there's still a lot of life in that. And I think that Nintendo at E3, my prediction is Nintendo is going to give us another huge game beyond Hey Pikmin that shows the life of the 3DS.
So here's a question. I had a question and it's gone now. Crap.
While you're thinking, I am surprised that the Ultras are are coming out a year later from the main game. I think that's the fastest they've ever put out.
That is pretty quick.
Their premium versions of the game in a generation. I would have expected to see a Gen 4 remake first, because that's been their pattern. Just put out new gen, then 3 generations ago remake, and then part 3, part 4 later. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think part of the reason that we're seeing that is that there is there's a certain amount of continuity between games from a continuity that you can transfer Pokemon from one game to the next, to the next, to the next, right? And I think right now it's like, no, everything from the DS forward, like that's kind of where we're at. I really don't want them to remake Diamond and Pearl, because that's not fun. I do have a couple of thoughts about the virtual console thing, though. Number one, I understand putting the limiting Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon to the 3DS. What I don't understand is limiting Gold and Silver to the 3DS. That seems weird to me, and I'm not really a fan of that. I understand that they want to have the Pokemon Bank functionality, and so in order for them to use to put Gold and Silver onto the Switch via Virtual Console, they would also have to put the Pokemon Bank on the Switch before an actual Pokemon game is released. But I would way rather play Pokemon Gold or Silver, or Crystal is actually the one I want to play, but that one is mysteriously missing from this press release. Crystal is not coming, apparently, only Gold and Silver. But I would way rather play that on the Switch than on the 3DS.
I didn't even think of that, because we did get Yellow on the same day as Red and Blue.
Yeah, and Crystal was cool because it had like the animated sprites, and you could be a girl if you wanted, which is important to a lot of people. So
yeah, I never played Crystal. I played Gold.
Crystal is by far the best version of that.
That's what I've heard.
It's really, really good. So I don't know. It's too bad that, that is one. I actually have a copy of Pokemon Silver, but I Also, you can transfer. That Pokemon Bank transfer stuff is really good. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably get that.
There's never been a Pokemon generation that crossed systems, and there probably never will be.
Yeah, no. So, and that's the thing now, right? Is that now I'm gonna say we're not gonna get the true full Pokemon experience until the 3DS is dead. Like actually, there is no more 3DS games. I wouldn't. I'm going to say something really terrible here. I wouldn't be surprised if the next full main Pokemon game where they do the new generation is multi-platform. So they still release it on the 3DS, but they also put it on the Switch. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
I completely agree with you because I think that they're going to
play. I think it'd be fine.
Yeah, they're going to try to keep that the handheld going, and eventually it will become the Kirby and Pokemon machine.
And I wouldn't be. And the thing is that I wouldn't be surprised if that happens 2 years from now, and a game for 3DS hasn't come out in a year, and suddenly Pokemon's coming out on the 3DS still. That would not surprise me at all. So, I don't know. 3DS isn't going anywhere, everybody. It's here for a while. So just accept it.
It's the long death kiss of Kirby.
Yeah, it is. So that's that. We do have an email as well here from Brandon Howarth. I'll just read this real quick. It says, Nintendo Dads, when are we going to give up on the third version thing? There was no Pokemon Gray. There was no Pokemon Z. There is no Pokemon Stars. In fact, there hasn't been a single Pokemon game since Pokemon Platinum, which was from Diamond and Pearl, which was the first ones on the 3DS, right? Diamond and Pearl were the first 3DS games. Why sell one when you sell two? DS, sorry, not 3DS. Why sell one when you can sell two? Pokemon has never jumped to another system mid-generation because of battle and trade compatibility. I can see a jump to Switch in Gen 8, but not before then. I'm also wondering what happened to Pokemon Crystal. That's from Brandon Howarth. Again, lots of points that we've kind of touched on here. Anything?
Well, while Black and White didn't have a third version, they had 3 and 4 with their Black 2, White 2.
Which is exactly what this one's doing, right? Yeah.
They will continue to do this as long as money is good.
Yep. Exactly.
As long as people will buy it, they will do it. And when you have such a high attachment rate, and I think, was this not the fastest selling Pokemon? I think last year. Yeah. So I think when you have that kind of level of success.
Yeah, X and Y was the fastest at the time, and then Sun and Moon smashed it.
And the other component part of that, Brandon, is probably that what they're seeing, if Nintendo's taking a step back, and I think we're maybe seeing a little bit of this is that as they're winding out in 2017, you're going to probably see less and less publishers and developers putting specific content on the 3DS and more likely putting content on the Switch. So to ensure that Nintendo is still, keeping the 3DS relevant to others, they're encouraging the Pokemon company, if they could release this game, it continues to build that hype without them necessarily having to do it, and without relying on other developers to continue that hype by putting new games there as well. So I think it's just helping Nintendo pad out that library, so to say. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on. That's Pokemon.
And I think there likely was a Pokemon Z in at least in design, if not in development, because Zygarde was a big thing in the anime at the end of that series, and we didn't see Zygarde until Sun and Moon. So I have a feeling that Zygarde would have been a bit an aspect of the third game in Gen 7 if they finished it, but they ended up for some reason scrapping it in favor of going to Gen 6 going into Gen 7.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. So that's Pokemon for you, everybody. Just be grateful. And you know what? There could be a world where there was no Pokemon. So just be grateful you live in this version of reality where Pokemon exists.
In another time zone, timeline.
Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you, over in the Newfoundland time zone, there is no Pokemon. So
no.
Finally, the ARMS reviews are in today, and they're pretty positive. I haven't actually taken the time to read or watch any reviews today because I've had stuff going on. But I did see a few scores. I checked out Metacritic. It seems like it's pretty good. It seems like I don't know. I've played a lot of the test punch. I played it a lot over the weekend again, and I'm I'm not surprised. I think you kind of know what you're getting after that test punch, and
absolutely, especially with all the added stuff they added in the second round.
Yeah, the weird headlock guy was.
Oh my gosh.
Which was really interesting.
Talk about coming out of nowhere too. Like I was just playing, and all of a sudden, what the crap is going on?
Yeah, they didn't announce that at all. It just showed up.
And I did not get on this weekend at all for the test punch.
So you didn't. You have not experienced headlock then.
I have not experienced headlock or the basketball function or the girl. What was her name? Twintel. Yeah. So it'll all be brand new to me in a couple weeks.
I only got to play the first night, the Friday night, and I played. It only gave me the option to play basketball one time, and I got destroyed at it. Headlock, I ended up fighting 4 times and won once. But
levels of difficulty too, right? Like you'll get level 3, 4, or 5, and
I beat a level 4 and got killed by a level 5 every time. But I was noticing by the end of the second hour, I guess, per se, if you will, that I got to play it, I was definitely learning more about how to dodge, when to time my attacks and how to curve punches and things. It may be just like the first time when the first weekend, people are just like, you're just flailing around. Well, yeah, you are. But if you'll actually try to play the game and do what they give you the opportunity to do, you can really develop some skill there. I think. Yeah, I think this is. I still stand by the fact that I think this is the new Splatoon.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it totally seems like that, and there's a lot. I actually took some more time to try the playing it in handheld mode with traditional controls, and that's actually, it feels pretty good. I feel like depending on what kind of mood you're in, it's a real achievement that they have created a game where if you want to sit down and use traditional controls, it's totally doable. And if you want to sit down, or if you want to get up on your feet and use the motion controls, that's also totally doable. They're both perfectly legitimate ways of playing the game, and they both actually feel like I enjoy both of them. It really comes down to a matter of preference, which I think is a really big achievement that is, it's pretty success. It's a great achievement. Yeah, I said that twice, but that's all I can say about it.
It's so great. You got to say it twice.
Yeah, exactly. Justin, this headlock guy, I just can't get off of it. Basically, have you seen it? Did you see?
No, I haven't seen any of it. I saw. No, I'm going to assume this is the villain that they kind of alluded to during one of the trailers or something. You kind of only saw a back version of him or whatever.
So imagine this giant robot head that has 4 arms coming out of it, and then it just drops onto a random character in the game, and so it's 6 arms. So it's like you got Springman with this giant robot head that's plopped on top of his body, and he's got 6 arms total, and then you're basically fighting a super powered up version of whatever random character is there. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and one side of it has all of the same attachments, and the other side has all the same. Yeah. So when I would fight him, one side had the mallets, that kind of spring out and bop you, and then the other side was the toaster or something like that. And it literally looks like a Terminator, the Terminator head.
That's really, that's true. That is exactly what it looks like.
Cool. So so here's a question as it's coming out. Is anyone picking up the yellow Joy-Cons with it?
I already have 4 Joy-Cons, so no.
I don't know if anyone was going to be a Joy-Con collector.
No,
Jesse's being very quiet.
That is a game I cannot get in.
No.
I can't afford to be a Joy-Con collector.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue. If they were cheaper, maybe, I think between the 3 of us, there are 4 pairs of Joy-Con. My daughter did buy an extra pair. My son and I each are happy with the one that came with it.
Yeah, nice.
What about you, Justin? You buying them?
No, I'm not going to buy a Joy-Con for it. I'm actually thinking I'm going to pick this might be the time where I'm going to actually pull the trigger and get a Pro Controller.
Yeah. By the way, just another quick piece of news. I did actually see that North America, they have confirmed that the Splatoon Pro Controller will be here on July 21st with the game. So get your pre-orders in as soon as you can, because there's no way that thing's coming back once it's sold out.
I don't. Yeah,
much
I don't,
like every Nintendo Special Edition.
Manager,
you know what? I might just start creating a black market over here and shipping them over to North America, because let me tell you, you can find those like Pro Controllers and Switches everywhere here.
Actually, Pro Controllers here. I went into Walmart the other day, and I kid you not, there were probably 10 Pro Controllers on the shelf at Walmart.
Nice.
So I was like, what? It was weird. So production's ramping up, guys. It's a thing.
Adam in the chat wants to see transparent Joy-Con.
That would be cool. You know what? I want
those would be cool.
I want it in the exact same color as the transparent Game Boy Color, the purple Game Boy Color, Atomic Purple or whatever it was.
That would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Nice.
But they probably don't want people to see what's inside without taking them apart.
You can open them up though, and the Pro Controller is semi-transparent too, right? So, I don't know. We'll see. So, all right. Well, we are going to skip what we're playing today, and we are jumping straight into. Last week we did our E3 predictions. We're going to read through a bunch of fan predictions for E3 as well to wrap out the rest of the show this week. But before we can do that, of course, the bumper.
Zach, before we move on to the E3 component, and I do want to say, like, amazing response and support from our fans for Twitter, for mailing in, for voicemails for E3. We're going to get to that. So I don't want to pause too far on this, but I think we'd be remiss in not mentioning one of the largest and most important news items that occurred this week.
Mm-hmm.
And just, you know, I'm just going to kind of like loosely comment, and then I'm going to let someone have a floor about it. Capcom made a decision this week that Mega Man 2 Legacy was not coming to Nintendo products. Marty Estes, the floor is yours, sir.
I'm going to have to go back and capture that.
Words cannot describe. Actually, words that I can't use on the show. If we want to maintain our family-friendly status, cannot describe how completely and totally idiotic a decision this is. Capcom and Mega Man owe Nintendo for that character's existence. And I would say Capcom itself owes Nintendo because Mega Man is what built the house. Now, you may want to say Resident Evil is what keeps the power on. That's fine. Street Fighter is what keeps the power on. That's fine. But Mega Man and other franchises that they've seemingly forgot built the house.
Oh, hang on, everybody. We're going to pause the show.
I hear him just fine.
Yeah, I hear him just fine, too. Where'd Zach?
Zach is...
There's the problem.
Yep. So, if Zach's not there, we're not recording, right?
No, it's on the YouTube file.
We still have the YouTube stream.
Oh, well, all right. So, back to Capcom's incompetence. It's funny to me that Jesse pointed out earlier, and I think it was you that pointed out that the 3DS version of Mega Man Legacy Collection was the highest selling version.
I'm just guessing, you know,
and
just install base wise,
due to install base and the amiibo, correct? And I'm sure there's some data out there that somebody will throw back. But honestly, here's the thing: I don't want to play Mega Man games on my PlayStation. I don't want to play Mega Man games on the Xbox. I don't want to play Mega Man games really on my 3DS anymore. I want to play Mega Man games on my Switch, where they belong. And I don't want to buy them one at a time through the Virtual Console. I want to play them as Legacy Collection. It baffled me when they did not bring this out for the Wii U. I don't understand why they're not doing it now. There's absolutely nothing that would stop them from doing this other than the fact that Capcom has some kind of axe to grind against Nintendo. I don't know what it is. I don't know who they've made mad, like who's mad behind the scenes. I don't know what's going on. I mean, there's Ultra Street Fighter. Yes, it's done seemingly okay. Great.
But is Capcom not also the publisher for all the Monster Hunter series?
Yeah.
Like here's the thing. Like everyone's like, Capcom and Nintendo must hate each other. I don't think that's the truth. I think Capcom, and when you look at like the Monster Hunter series, that's Capcom has done that, right? So they're like, I don't think it's a lack of a relationship. You know,
then what is it?
I don't know, but because of Nintendo, Capcom be making money like hand over fist.
That Monster Hunter XX special edition sold out in minutes.
Yeah, so you're telling me that Nintendo and Capcom don't have a good relationship. So I don't know what it is. And here's the thing. The truth of the matter is that, Marty, you will get this on the 3DS. And it will be in 6 to 9 months from now when it's announced or released, right? Just like it was before. But you are right. It is remiss and to not be on the Switch. Much like the Disney Afternoon Collection.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Those are games that, quite frankly, are Nintendo games. Why they're not on a Nintendo console baffles me. Even just as like, if Capcom doesn't want to take the risk with a physical product, at least let it be a download through the eShop.
Yeah.
You know, at least let us download the collection where at least, you know, that way you're not paying for packaging, you're not paying for shipping.
So I looked at VG charts to see what they show as worldwide sales numbers are, and while there are no numbers available for the Windows version or the Xbox One version, it says PS4 sold about 100,000 units, 3DS sold 240,000 units.
There you go.
So more than double.
I guess my thing is right now, like, we just see part of the hostility comes from, like, we see every day just like more and more like, oh, this is coming out, it's not for the Switch. Oh, this is coming out, it's not for the Switch. Oh, FIFA 18 is coming out and it's not going to have these modes that the other games have.
Oh, I'm here. Okay, hello.
What is
Hello?
the deal, you know, with that?
Okay, I'm back.
Not
Hello?
with you, Zach. I'm sorry.
Hey, Zach.
I'm back. Okay.
We're not asking what the deal is with you. We're asking what the deal is with third-party support. Right now, what I was saying was, it just seems like every day we're hearing about this is coming out and it's not coming to the Switch. This is coming out and it's not coming to the Switch. Oh yeah, this is coming out on all platforms and Switch is not mentioned.
Isn't that just the same old tale as old as time? Is that what that is?
Is this a musical episode?
Yeah.
We need to do a musical episode.
Song as old as rhyme.
By the way,
Nintendo and third parties.
My 4-year-old daughter. My parents were here for my graduation, and my 4-year-old daughter was laying down with my mom was trying to get her to sleep, and she was singing her a lullaby, and my daughter turns to her and says, No, Grandma, you have to shake your voice. You have to sing like this.
That's fantastic.
So there you go. You got to have a little. My 4-year-old apparently has discovered vibrato. So,
while you were gone, I got all my Mega Man ranting out. So,
I didn't even get it recorded. Oh, come on!
It's on the YouTube.
Yeah,
There you go,
I'll cut the audio and
but I found some really good jazz music during the break. So yeah, go and check it out on YouTube, everybody. But it is stupid. It's stupid. And let me tell you, stupid. We're not doing what we played this week, but what I will say is, while my parents were here, my dad is a huge gamer as well, and actually did have a copy of Ultra Street Fighter 2, and I tried it out, and it is a great. It would make a great eShop game, a really high quality eShop game. There is no way that game is worth what they're charging for it, though. Right? It is overpriced.
Nope.
It is so overpriced, and it's a great game. And if that's the only game that they're going to put out there, and they've said oh well, we're gonna judge our or we're gonna judge our whatever based on our participation in this which platform based on the sales of Ultra Street Fighter 2. Like, I'm sorry, but this is like the Switch's version of Ubisoft and like all that crap where they were like, oh well, we don't know, it never sold very well, I don't understand, we did like a half a job, and then we're going to be surprised that like I don't understand it. Well, like, how is Capcom the only one who doesn't understand that the Switch is a real success and there's a lot of opportunity there?
We talked about this on the Hangout. Another sore spot here is the Disney Afternoon Collection. Would have been perfect on any Nintendo platform, 3DS, Switch, even Wii U, or Wii U, but yeah, conspicuously absent. Considering all of these games were NES games.
Yeah. I don't understand this, dude. It's so weird. Super weird. So,
I'm reading chat when you guys mentioned we should have a musical episode. Someone Quag asked if I'm a bass, and I responded that I'm actually a tenor, and he said that I'd be a good villain in the musical episode. It'd be about the Canadians complaining about the exchange rates.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, totally. So that is for sure. Let's get into some E3 predictions, shall we?
Do it.
Just to wrap this up in about Capcom, pull your head out of your behind and just do the right thing. All right?
Please understand.
Moving on. So, fan predictions for E3. We've got quite a few of them that have been sent in. Of course, if you want to send us all of your, as things are going on, you can send us emails to nintendodads@gmail.com. That is where you can, get your email on the show. We're going to go through as much of this as we can. Justin, do we have you for another hour, or what do we have?
You know what? You do. You have me for a full hour, an extra hour, all the way till 7 a.m. my time.
All right, perfect. Sounds good. So, what we have here is our emails. Let's go through the first one around as we're doing all these. Justin, do you want to read the first one from Adam?
No, I don't.
Oh, do you have it pulled up?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, can you pull them up, or is that going to screw up your setup?
Give me a second.
I'll read it while he's pulling it up.
Okay, you read the first one.
Thank you.
All right, this is from our friend Adam Goswick over on Twitter. He sent us email. He says, and these were all in bullet points, and they didn't come out that way. Online service detailed. Bingo, already kind of done that.
Yep.
Soft launches with Splatoon 2 in July. It's kind of scary how right he is. Fully launches as a subscription service in the fall. They'll go over the basic features and show off a little bit of the app. Next, Virtual Console is detailed and will launch with the full online subscription service in the fall. It will launch with the entire Virtual Console library currently available on the Wii U.
Okay. High hopes, low expectations.
Next, a Mario Odyssey Switch bundle is announced, which definitely could happen. More Wii U ports incoming, including Woolly World and Mario Maker.
No.
You will not see a Woolly World port. They've already ported it 3DS.
Mario Maker could be, and I think that
I don't know.
There is good cause for them to wait on a Mario Maker port because that is complicated. Because even if you can use the touchscreen or the weird Wii U pointer or the weird Wii pointer control motion control thing, it's going to be complicated and it's going to be weird to say, oh yeah, by the way, you can only do this in handheld mode or with the weird pointer. I'm just assuming what kind of stuff they would do. I think
you're talking about Super Mario Maker 2.
Potentially.
I don't think that you'll see a rehash. I think you'll see a new game.
They'll just call it Super Mario Maker 2 or like
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. His last prediction is Metroid Prime 4 and a Legacy Metroid game are real. I think we might get a teaser for one of these, but I don't think we'll get much information at all. They will launch in 2018.
I think Adams, if I'm looking at this overall prediction, he's got a lot of really solid guesses in here.
I think
if I was to give a like a out of 5 rating on Adam here, I think he's a 4.5, maybe 4.5 to 5.
The last point here, and again, I think one of the questions that we need to continually ask ourselves as we're going into E3 is my level of hype irresponsible? Do I have an irresponsible level of hype with this?
Do you think this is irresponsible, Zach?
I think the last point about having both a Metroid Prime 4 and a Legacy Metroid game, I think that reaches that level of irresponsible levels of hype where you're setting yourself up for disappointment.
What if they're not on the same console?
Be happy with one Metroid game. Don't even set yourself up for that expectation that there's going to be two. Just say.
I suspect Adam was just going for the fences on that one.
Absolutely, and I'm just I just hope that there's not somebody out there who's like, oh man, I'm so excited to play Metroid Prime 4, to play this other Metroid game, and then when it doesn't happen, the table will flip. And so, it's that is like that again. It's like Sean Capri saying the Double Dash DLC is coming to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It would be awesome, but it's not going to happen. So,
well, Sean Capri's a dirty liar. That's what Sean Capri is.
And Sean Capri is a wonderful human being, an eternal optimist.
Still a dirty liar.
Yeah.
Potato.
I love you, Sean.
I do want to say this, that so we cut the surprise early. We got in 7 fan predictions for E3 that we put in the doc. 6 out of the 7 of them mentioned Metroid.
Again, I'm not against the idea that Metroid is not happening, right?
You heard it here. Zach hates Metroid.
Yeah.
Very much like my Super Nintendo list that I did a few weeks ago. I think everyone who chimed in, except for one, wanted the Zelda game, and I think everyone except for 2 wanted Super Metroid.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that Metroid isn't going to happen. I'm saying it's only going to be one, and it's probably not going to meet your expectations. So that's all I'm going to say. That way, everybody, if they exceed that, then we're good.
So you're saying we're going to get Federation Force 2?
I'm saying don't be surprised if the Federation is in whatever game it is. I'm not even joking. I'm not even just like some of this. I am kind of trolling and being a little bit much, but I'm actually quite serious that if what's his face who did Federation Force, I'm blanking on his name right now, but if that fine gentleman is involved in this new game, the Federation, Space Federation or whatever, will be in this game. So I don't know. Just prepare yourselves. Metroid isn't what you think it is anymore. It's not Super Metroid days. So anyways, Justin, you want to read the next one?
Yes, I do. So this one's from Mike BC, and Mike says, I have a few E3 predictions for y'all. The first being a Mario and Rabbids RPG. It will be formally announced for fall of 2017. Mario Odyssey will get the vague holiday 2017 designation with a direct later to provide a release date. I think they'll tease something Metroid-ish for 2018, but it'll be super unspecific. And this is my long shot prediction. They'll announce a summer DLC pack for Mario Kart 8 that's an exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. That's pretty good. I like all of those things.
Good. Yep. My only thing that I would maybe say is that summer seems early for a Mario Kart DLC pack, but I mean it could be late summer. It could be August or September, and that's still technically summer. And so I think maybe that would be right. Like Splatoon's kind of on the tail end of Splatoon 2, or they're kind of riding that Splatoon 2 wave, and then boom, we've got another Mario Kart 8 pack to ride that wave a little further.
Yeah, I think Mike's got some solid predictions in here. I love the idea of that DLC for Mario Kart. To your point, though, I don't know when it'll be exactly. I do think we'll actually probably get an actual date for Mario, though. I do think that's going to be...
I was going to rearrange... If I were to rearrange a few things here, I'd say we will get a firm date on Mario, and the Rabbids will probably be pushed into spring 2018, so that we don't have 2 Mario games stepping on each other.
I think Rabbids is staying where it's at.
Yeah,
I really do.
For fall?
Where's that?
It was the leaked stuff, quote unquote, said August.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's right.
August, September.
Yeah. August will be fine because that's still so far away from November that they shouldn't be stepping on each other.
Look at how quickly he backpedals once the facts are put in front of him.
See, I'm still going to say I think that Nintendo, there is no, generally they don't announce dates for games until like a few months before. And so I really like just looking specifically at their past behavior, I think that E3 is a little bit early for them to give a specific date for Mario. They may say November, or they may say holiday, but I don't think they're actually going to go away and say a specific day.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
think November is a good bet.
Yeah.
I think it's the most obvious one, yeah.
Let's move on to David. Here's what David says. Hello, fellow dads. I predict the total relaunch of Wii Fit for the Switch. This would make Josh Thomas very happy. Josh loves the Wii Resort stuff and that. I can take mine on business trips and have found the dock to be very with TVs in most hotels, even without the full hookups. I think just attaching the Joy-Cons and using a Switch in portable mode would work well with a new Woohoo Island. Switch was made for something like this. Yeah, I could see that return. It won't be branded Wii Fit. Obviously, it'll be like the Switch Fit. Switch Fit.
Yeah. Or they could even Nintendo Sports, something like that. I don't know.
The problem with that is that Wii Fit responded completely with the balance board.
Yeah.
And that was what drove most of the input. I mean, you had the Wii Remote, yes, but you also had the balance board. How is the Switch going to do that? It can measure a lot of things with those gyroscopes and the Joy-Con, but
I'm not standing on my Switch.
Nope.
You know what though? Again, I just got an Apple Watch this week, which is pretty awesome. There's so much fitness stuff incorporated into smartphones. What if there was a smartphone app that connected with it? You can put your weight in, you can put we don't need all of the weird, we don't need the balance board. That thing was too clunky and weird, and we don't want to have to deal with that. But we would sure love to have, maybe they release an eShop, like an eShop download game or whatever that's kind of in the spirit of that maybe you can kind of get in on a few motion control games or whatever. And they just kind of, they just go with that route and kind of gamify fitness. Is that something that we think? I don't think they would do that this year, but I think that maybe would be kind of in line with their quality of life stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think they've abandoned the quality of life stuff, to be honest.
It wasn't that long ago. Somebody asked, it was less than a year ago. They asked, what's with the quality of life stuff? And they're like, yeah, still working on it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're working on it. I think that was a Wada thing. I think that was what he wanted. And then he passed and they switched into full Switch mode with Kimishima.
Yeah.
And I think that drive, I think the single-minded drive of we are a gaming company, we make gaming systems, we make games, I think that's kind of been the proof that we're, the vitality sensor or whatever, that's done.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, in terms of an app, and the app can easily tie into a Nintendo account, so the same Nintendo account you use to log into the Switch, so that's not an issue. I'm not familiar with how Androids handle a lot of the fitness stuff that they're doing. I know Apple's got a big HealthKit API that makes things pretty easy to collect and store and analyze data. So if Android has something similar to what Apple has with HealthKit, that's something that's very viable.
Yeah,
there could be some partnerships there. Before we move on to our next one, I want to do a quick. I mentioned before we got a ton of responses. We got a ton of Twitter responses as well. I asked last week, what are some E3 predictions? I'm going to run through a quick list and let's kind of just give a yay or what are just a thumb up, thumb down, how we feel about it. All right, real fast in this one. First one comes from Cass Lush. Cass says, no Metroid. Virtual Console will be announced and available the day of E3. Now, I put this tweet out back on May 30th, so things being what we know now, probably not. But, thumb down on that one. Blake says more Nintendo games for iOS. Jesse, what do you think? Thumb up, thumb down?
Possible. We do know that there's an Animal Crossing something on the way, and there's rumors of a Zelda something on the way. I don't think they'll announce anything new, at least not here. But we may get a little bit of information. Now mobile. E3 isn't really the place for mobile announcements, but they may include it in a mini montage of things to come.
I'm going to put this out there for the Zelda one. I don't think we hear about Zelda because if Zelda was
I don't think we will either. If we hear anything, it'll be something about Animal Crossing.
Because here's the thing: if Zelda was close, let me tell you when we would have heard about it on Monday at the Apple event. And because we didn't hear about it then, I bet you we hear about this. Like, write this one down, folks. It'll probably happen. It's going to happen at Apple's fall
September event.
Or whatever fall event they have. That Miyamoto is going to come back out on stage, and they're going to have a Zelda game on iOS. If it is indeed a Zelda game and not like a companion app or something like that. So
yeah. Okay. Next one comes from our good friend Mikey Burgett. They're going to tease the new Smash Brothers. I'm going to Zach for this one. Zach, yay or nay? What's your over and under on this one? Yes or no?
Sorry, you caught me mid cough. I don't think so. I
also agree with you.
I don't think it's coming. No,
I don't think it's coming now. Right now, I think in a couple of years we might talk about it though.
Yeah, I don't think a port's happening at all. I think that it's going to be straight 100% brand new Smash Brothers game.
Okay. Going over to you for this next one, Marty. Marty, Chris White says Virtual Console launches in the fall with Super Mario Sunshine. His second point is a SNES remix hits the Switch this December, and Call of Duty World War II becomes day and date. A lot from Chris there. Marty, what's your thoughts on those? Let's start off with Virtual Console launch.
Well, we already know that that's probably not happening because of the online service. I do think that we'll hear about what the Virtual Console is going to be. I don't think that we'll get a date on it unless it's one of those things. It's like, and it's available right now. Yeah. As far as the SNES remix, I would love to see that. But again, let's go with Zach's byline here: managing expectations.
I feel like if they're gonna do a SNES remix, I bet you it goes to 3DS. And the last component of that being Call of Duty World War II day and date.
I think that's happening.
Definitely. Yeah,
I mean, there's been a little bit of smoke around that, and they've been hiring some extra devs and tweeting some very mysterious things. I think Activision's going to surprise people with that at E3.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's going to come during the Nintendo conference. I think it's going to be announced by Activision.
I would agree with that, and if that does happen, my son does plan on buying the Switch version as opposed to the PS4 version.
Yeah. Let's go over to Jesse for the next one. This comes from Penniless Dad. He says, not going to happen, F-Zero, Metroid Prime 4, or Billy Hatcher HD.
What? I don't get the last reference. I don't get the joke.
That's okay. So so I guess here's my question. Jesse, do you think we would actually hear anything about an F-Zero or Metroid Prime 4? Give me just a yes or no.
I think F-Zero, no. Prime, maybe.
Cool. All right. Moving on to our next one. This comes from Fake Tor. It says, what we get. News about Nintendo Online, Mario Odyssey, and My Nintendo. What I want is an open world Metroid like Zelda Breath of the Wild. Zach, how about you?
You know what?
They hide 900 missile packs.
Yeah. Okay. Say that. Read it to me again. I just it bowled over me like I was.
What we get is news about Nintendo Online, yes, Mario Odyssey, and My Nintendo. Mm-hmm. What I want is an open world Metroid like Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't even no. There's no way in it. No, that's not happening. Because let me tell you why. Is because it's like it's the amount of time that was spent on Breath of the Wild is proportional to the level of confidence Nintendo has in that franchise and how much it was willing to invest in it. And given the franchise's recent performance, they are not going to spend anywhere near that much time on that game. So,
Marty, we're coming back to you for this one from Ryan Craig. Ryan says, Metroid in 2019, if we're lucky, Animal Crossing on the Switch in Q1 of 2018, details about their online service, and information about the SNES Classic.
Metroid 2019, no. It would if it's coming, it's 2018.
Okay.
Animal Crossing 2018, yes, I think that's happening.
Okay. Details about online service we've already got. Any info about SNES Classic?
And again, I think they'll double dip on that, and they'll give us some more info. SNES Classic, I want it to happen, but I don't know that it will. Okay. Well, I do and don't want it to happen, if that makes sense.
You want it to happen, your wallet doesn't.
I would like for it to be a download of games.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like it to be offered digitally. How about that?
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. This is a great one. Ryan, I'll just take this one. Retro Panic says, why do we need Metroid? They just put an arm cannon on Mario. Problem solved. Obviously referring to the recent clip art from Rabbids. That's great. Jesse, going over to this one. George says, Switch themes?
I think we've already covered this earlier this episode. I'm guessing themes not yet, but later. But I'm hoping for a menu UI revamp.
Okay. And coming back to you, Zach, for the last one. 2D Metroid, Animal Crossing, retro games, either new IP or F-Zero, and then new Smash.
Manage your expectations. That's my response.
Okay. Obviously, a resounding amount of information here is that people want Metroid, so that's great. Moving on to our next email. This email comes from Phoenix Moore. Phoenix says, what I think will happen. So he starts his email off in 3 ways. What I think will happen, what I want, and would be awesome. So here's what he thinks will happen. Small reminder about ARMS and Splatoon. You can download it now. Type update that will fully include UI changes and themes to the Switch. We just mentioned themes. Upcoming indie announcements and release dates. Officially reveal the Rabbids Mario game. And finally reveal what's up with the Virtual Console, online pricing, and how the chat app works. Reveal new Mario Odyssey gameplay. And the spotlight with a small trailer revealing a new Metroid game coming next year. This sounds pretty reasonable.
Okay, so
obviously, again, this statement came in before we knew about all these online functions and chats.
Here's a question that I have about this Mario Rabbids game. What percentage, as far as chickens, how many chickens were counted? I don't know what it is here. How much is Nintendo relying on this game to carry? How much weight is it carrying? Because this coming out early is just nobody was excited about this. But in reality, oh crap, this was actually one of their flagship games for the fall. What if, is that a possibility? And if so, how much salt will be spilled on the internet come Tuesday when this is kind of shown off? And what are you guys' thoughts on that?
I'm not sure if Nintendo themselves are, putting too much.
Mario is in this game, so that that Nintendo is going to be helping market this.
True, but I think this is one of those things we talked about, with Capcom, is this is going to be Ubisoft's baby, and if it tanks, then we're not going to see another Ubisoft game on the Switch.
But again, I think Nintendo has a very strong interest with Mario being in this game. They have a very significant.
They have some skin in the game.
They got some skin in the game, and they're going to put their marketing
true. But
power
I think most people will realize that this is not a Nintendo developed game, even though it's got Mario in it. It's a different style. It's a different game than a Mario game. So I think Ubisoft will be putting more thoughts, more on the line than Nintendo proper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I agree that both will keeping it. Well, both companies will be keeping an eye on what's going on.
Yeah. But Phoenix, I would say, like, what will happen? I think that's pretty solid. Like, I suspect we will see some UI changes. I think there's a lot of good things there. I think you're spot on. You're always a level head of reasonableness that we've seen in our line chat as well. So well done. Now this is where he gets fun. He says, "What I want to happen: reveal a new 2D Metroid for the 3DS and Switch. Reveal a Metroid Prime for the Switch. Reveal a new Animal Crossing for 3DS and Switch, and reveal Mother 3 for the Virtual Console. Reveal that Virtual Console now includes NES 2 GameCube games." And if that was the case, Phoenix, Nintendo could just drop the microphone, walk away, and be like, "We be out, y'all," and that would be it. That would be it. Crazy stuff.
But the funny thing is that he actually goes with the phrase "mic drop" in his.
I know.
What would be awesome.
Yes,
because it would be. This would be all it would take.
So that's what he would want to happen. Now, what he says, what would be awesome, is that Reggie and Miyamoto walk out, each playing their own Switch. They're making game faces while pushing buttons like crazy. The camera pans around, revealing that they are playing the new Metroid for Switch in a local wireless campaign, completely shutting E3 down until further notice. Mic drop. Yeah. All of those things would be amazing, but I do like how he's like, this is what will happen. These are my crazy predictions. So to Zach's point, managing his expectations.
And thank you for separating them into the high hopes and the low expectations categories. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any cross-platform games. I think
we already our Monster Hunter Double Cross is.
I mean, from Nintendo. Like, we're not going to see the same 2D Metroid game for both. We're not going to see the same Animal Crossing for both. It'll be one or the other.
What about eShop games? Will that hold for eShop games? What do you think? Jesse?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
I think it depends on the game, but I think in general, no. I think Breath of the Wild is just a special case just because of the time it took for development.
Sorry. You were saying Switch and Wii U. I thought you were saying Switch and 3DS.
Switch and 3DS. But I was just using Zelda as an example for that. But
right.
Yeah. So I don't think we're going to hear. I don't think we're going to hear anything new outside of the Monster Hunter one that we've already heard of. And as for GameCube games, like I think I said this before. I think the only way that would work is if we got a new Joy-Con that has the clicky shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. All right, I'll read the last one here. This one is who's this from? Did we lose
Tim?
Tim. All right. So it says, "Good day, Nintendo dads. Thank you for this opportunity to share my Nintendo E3 predictions for 2017. You're welcome. You are welcome. Or is this more like our wishful thinking for E3? I cannot wait to hear yours. Here we go. I am with everyone else. A new Metroid game will be announced, and I think that should be the first video they start with. It will be a spring 2018 release." Let's just stop there for a second. Do we think that it's the first video, or do we think that I still think it's going to be Mario Odyssey is the first video.
Yeah, I think Metroid is and one more thing.
Yeah, especially if it's not going to be out until almost next E3. It'll probably be the last thing they talk about.
I don't even think Odyssey is the first video.
You don't think so? What do you think?
I think they'll lead with Animal Crossing.
That would be good. I think they're going to lead with Rabbids.
I was thinking Rabbids too.
They could.
They could.
Or that could be like second.
If Ubisoft doesn't talk about it on Sunday or Monday, whenever their thing is.
Yeah. Mario and Rabbids game will be fully announced with a playable demo launching that day for E3 and on the eShop. It will surprise everyone on how much fun it is. I think that I don't know if the playable demo at home is a realistic thing, but I do think that general impressions will probably be, it's not bad. Is probably the box quote.
It's not the worst thing.
You know what? I was kind of surprised it didn't suck. Is going to be the box quote.
Just write that right now for the Nintendo Dad's box quote.
Yeah,
it could have been worse.
You know what? Not terrible. Obviously, Mario Odyssey will be shown, but surprise, Luigi is the hat.
No.
Dun, dun, dun. Like the inside liner of it is green, and you hear Mario. It's just what I don't know. Complete details about the online features will be announced with launch date. That's pretty much already happened. Virtual Console will launch at E3 with GameCube games added to the library. 1 to 3 games will launch with it, and others will be listed with upcoming dates. Good news, everything purchased in the new Virtual Console will follow your ID. Bad news, anything purchased previously on previous systems will not. Conversion fee will apply. So if you bought it previously, you'll have to pay X for it to convert to the new Virtual Console version.
If this happens, I'm blaming Tim.
What? Which part?
The Virtual Console thing, because it sounds
The conversion fee?
exactly like something Nintendo would do. Like, hey guys, we got it. It's finally going to happen, except that you have to buy them one more time.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what's going to happen.
It's exactly, Marty. Here's the deal: is that there is actual development cost to get
I know.
Switch version. If you got to pay $2 or $3, or version cost, I think that's totally reasonable. But yeah, you're going to be salty if they don't just give it to you for free? Like, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I think it's the time for that is long past. I think, we're going to be third generation. If I don't know if you want to call the 3DS a third generation and call this fourth generation, but we're third or fourth generation Virtual Console. No matter how you want to square it, it's time. It's time. And if this is it, then I'll grit my teeth and I'll pay it. But then that should be it.
Yeah.
But I will not be happy about it. Good day, sir.
Good day.
Final prediction, a major third-party game will be announced that will blow our minds. Is that too vague? Mario and Rabbids doesn't count. Winky face. Thanks, gentlemen. Have a wonderful day. So thanks, Tim. Last prediction, what do we think this major third-party game could be?
Final Fantasy.
The one that won't be released until 2020?
No, I think it'll be. They've been talking a lot about 14 and about we're researching the viability of Final Fantasy 14 on the Nintendo Switch.
I don't know if that'd be a good system for that. I don't know if I want to play an MMO on a handheld.
I'm going to say Blizzard, Overwatch.
They've already kind of said they're not going to do that. They haven't said they're not going to do it, but they basically gave the biggest I don't know, it's not you, it's me is almost the sort of I think that if they could have just given that as the soundbite of that would have actually been what they said, but they had to use real words, and so they said, it's never outside of the realm of possibility, but I don't know. We're just trying to make our game awesome on the systems it's already there. It's not I think Hearthstone is much more likely than Overwatch.
I think that would be huge.
We'll see a Madden 18 come back. Since Nintendo lost the Madden franchise several years ago.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't really follow Madden, so sports ball.
It's sports ball.
Yeah, it's sports. It's all sports ball to me, man. I don't know. But yeah. So thank you everybody for any final thoughts on that, guys?
Thank you. I would just say thank you, everyone that sent in some predictions. I love hearing people's predictions. I love hearing the hype around it. As much as we get to sit around and have pundit conversations about it, to actually hear others and our community is fantastic. So we are, we mentioned as we queued up the day, we are less than a week from E3. So maybe let's talk a little. Maybe here's a good opportunity for us to talk about what our coverage is going to look like during the E3. So I don't think we've had a production none of you guys don't see this, but everyone on the Skype just looked at me like we haven't had a conversation about our production meeting yet.
Yeah. So what do you? I don't have anything currently scheduled. I'm open that morning, so I will probably be watching it live.
I have booked off my afternoon of work. I'm going to set up kind of an HQ here in my office, and I'm going to watch it live. I'm hoping. Here's what I'm thinking, guys. Let's do some pre-show. Let's do some yammer, some chat, because news will be coming out in the next couple of days, I'm sure, about stuff. Let's have a bit of a maybe 45-minute pre-show beforehand, and then let's do a live reaction just like we did to the actual Switch reveal, and then have a bit of a post-show conversation from there. And then our regular, we'll jump those out as audio files so people can pick them up that evening, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of E3 content that they're going to be grabbing. And then back to our regular scheduled program on Wednesday, where we'll have our normal content as well.
Makes sense to me, man.
Does that work for you guys? So again, just as a summary, guys, we will be doing a pre-show for E3. We're going to post out some times more officially about it as we get close to it. Then we will do a live reaction as the Direct is occurring. And then right after the Direct, I know they're going to transition to Treehouse, but we're going to have a little bit of a post-show afterwards conversation about our impressions, thoughts, and reactions. And then on Wednesday, we'll record our regular episode as well. The pre-show and post-show will be live, available on download feed relatively close after the event as well, so you can catch that on your tunes. So,
absolutely, and I would also just add to that: follow us on Twitter at Nintendo Dads to keep in touch in case any of that changes. Our plans could change entirely by the time you hear this, but I think for the most part that seems pretty reasonable to me. So. We also have some I honestly haven't even talked to you, Justin. I know I've seen emails back and forth. Can we talk about the thing that's happening with the mega people?
Sure. Do you want to discuss that here?
Yeah, sure, whatever. Why don't you just tell everybody what's going on?
Yeah, so guys, we're really excited. John and Adam are from the Mega Dads are heading over to E3, and we have been able to partner with them for some coverage on Nintendo content. So John and Adam have been blessed as our Nintendo Dad correspondents, and we've had an opportunity to actually work with our Nintendo Canada rep, and John and Adam actually have an opportunity to go to the booth, have a tour of the Nintendo booth, and we'll be actually setting up interview time with Nintendo there. And they're going to be creating content and both flipping that for their show, but also using it for our show, and are going to be kind of sending that along to us as well. So we're going to be able to have pretty close to coverage right on the floor specific to Nintendo from John and Adam, and we're excited for those guys to be doing it. It's going to be some great coverage. Yeah.
And my understanding as part of the contract was that John is actually going to be on the day that they go to the Nintendo booth. John will be cosplaying as Jesse Waldack as part of the contract to make this all happen. But that is something that will be happening. So
does that mean beard and gray hair, or does that mean Tingle outfit?
Absolutely. Tingle.
Tingle. 100%, y'all.
100% Tingle. John, we've committed you to this, so don't let us down, man.
Don't screw with us here, John.
Or Tingle with gray hair.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing. Just look at the album art. You see Jesse in the Tingle outfit? There you go. You got like 5 days plus whatever sort of travel you got going on. So
search yourself.
Yeah. Contractually obligated. Right on. So we do have one more email here real quickly here. I just wanted to cover this. It shouldn't take us too long. This is from mystery person. I don't have a name.
No, it's from Brian Welch.
Okay, there you go. The beard. The beard himself has graced us with his question. Hey, dads, I've been binging Zelda this year, beating Breath of the Wild, Wind Walker is what he's written, but I think he means Wind Walker HD, Twilight Princess HD, Minish Cap, Link's Awaken, and Ocarina of Time 3D.
That's
holy crap, dude!
Damned impressive.
I've never played the DS Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. What are your thoughts on these two titles, and which do you prefer? Keep up the good work. So I have pulled this up only because I love the theme. I love the theme from the overworld theme from Spirit Tracks. If you haven't played that game, my actual thoughts on this, I don't know what you guys think. I think skip Phantom Hourglass and just play Spirit Tracks. It's just a more polished version of the game. That's just my take on it. It's actually the only one I've played. I haven't played Phantom Hourglass, and everybody that I've ever heard from has said, people say this about this, so I don't know. I'm not going to do a Trump thing here. I would just say that's if I don't know if you need to play both, but Spirit Tracks I really liked. So I don't know, Marty, you seem to disagree.
Oh, I do. I think you should play both of these games, and I think you should enjoy the crap out of them because they're fantastic. Now, I will agree with your summation that Spirit Tracks is the more polished of the two. However, I think you owe it to yourself to enjoy both because Phantom Hourglass leads into Spirit Tracks. And so there is a little bit of the kind of context in the story that you want to understand if you don't get the first one.
And I would recommend playing the Phantom Hourglass first because
Yes.
it's like trying to play Bayonetta after playing Bayonetta 2. It's, you get used to the improvements, and when you lose those improvements, it's not as fun. So start with, I would start with Phantom Hourglass. I've played through both games and did enjoy them. I tried playing through the Spirit Tracks a second time once on a road trip, and
it's got a pretty slow beginning.
It does, but a lot of good games that I like do for some reason.
Yeah.
But the thing with the Spirit Tracks is when the instrument you play, you literally have to blow into the mic as you're playing it. But we had the air conditioning on in the car blowing so at a high fan that it thought I was constantly blowing into it, even though when I wasn't. So I couldn't. When it got to the point when I had to play the flute, and play something specific in the flute, I had to stop playing until we got to a rest stop when I can do it outside the car.
Yeah,
but other than that, it's a fun game.
I have a similar story actually. I probably shouldn't tell this story because it's kind of embarrassing, but I would say
then you should definitely tell it.
Okay, there you go. So I was on a road trip, and I was a little bit of a latecomer to the DS, and had never played Nintendogs before, but and so this was like, keep in mind I am like a probably like within like a less than a year of being married. Probably I had just gotten a DS. I was playing Nintendogs on a road trip once. And we were going somewhere with my parents, and so me and my wife are in the back seat, my parents are in the front seat, and I'm trying to play Nintendogs, and it's just like I named my dog Jimbo, because that's what I had a dog as a kid named Jimbo, so whatever. So I'm trying to get this dog's attention, playing Nintendogs in the back seat. I'm like, Jimbo. I could like, and I think I probably just wasn't very self-aware at the time. Like I was just trying to do this, and all of a sudden my wife like just takes the DS out of my hands, like, shut up now, and like closes it and throws it in the bag, and it's like, enough, because those are ridiculous. So even that persistence does not count in those situations. Just no, like enough, to the point where now it's just like, oh, I'm gonna play. No, like that game just disappeared. It like I wasn't allowed to play. I don't know. So that's the thing. So like high pitched screams I think might work if it's just a whistle, because it's just doing a sound thing. So that is actually my pro tip. If blowing into it doesn't work, scream as loud as you can, and it might work. No promises. Anyways, that is Spirit Tracks. I don't know where that came from. Any other thoughts on that, guys, as we kind of round things out? Okay. Your silence speaks volumes. Right on. Well, that is the end of the show. I'm excited, everybody, for our E3 stuff. Go over and have a little pre-E3 therapy over at youtube.com/c/NintendoDads. You'll find a video over there, and you'll come away learning some life lessons. And you might even be able to say, you know what? That applies to my life. It doesn't just apply to my life with Nintendo. So, I don't know. Maybe it will. I don't know. And so follow us on Twitter, and we'll let you know what's going on over there. All right, Justin, do you have anything that you want to add before we head out today, good sir?
I do not. Just keep real.
Right on. I guess the one thing I will say is, of course, for everybody, you can support us on patreon.com/NintendoDads. We don't mention that early enough or often enough, but if you guys go over there, even $1 a month is awesome. If you guys sign up for $5 a month, you get into the line chat. And my greatest hope is for us to get enough people in there to break line and have to move somewhere else. So I think we're honestly kind of close to that. There's so many people in there that we're one day we're gonna have to maybe it doesn't scale, I guess. That single chat room is hard to keep up with, but it's an awesome time, and you guys are amazing over there. So thank you to all of our patrons, and go over there if you want to support us. And you guys are awesome. So absolutely, patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. All right, with that. Oh wait, hang on. Where'd my music go? There it is. Awesome. All right. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Nintendo Dads podcast. If you want to follow us on all of the social medias, you can do that on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Nintendo Dads. You can email us, nintendodads@gmail.com. If you want to go to Twitch or YouTube, find our videos and streaming and all that stuff, absolutely go over there and look for Nintendo Dads. You will find us. If you want to call in and leave us a voicemail, it's 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for our music throughout the show, as well as to both Carter Johnson and Adam Leonard for our amazing artwork. And if you want to buy some Nintendo Dads merch, tiny.cc/Nintendo Dads store. And of course, if you want to change the world, go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. Written reviews are even better. And of course, if you want to subscribe to the show, you can go to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and of course, VGTribune.com. For me, for Justin, for Jesse, and for Marty, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
Wobble Puffet? Wobble Buffet?
I waited all
time.
episode.